Ripple just affirmed collaboration. We were already aware of the cooperation. Previously, it was largely ignored. However, the fact that Ripple has teamed up with one of the biggest institutions globally is official. They do utilize XRP, yes. They will indeed take custody of digital assets. Brad is going to give us an update on the ETF. I also pulled up the interview segment for you. Next, we will discuss the real-world tokenization of assets by DTCC. Let's get started with the Bitcoin $67,166 now. According to a belief, it has increased by 78% in the last day. It's down 2.36% right now, and I'm coming in at 2,527. If you missed the first video of the day, XRP is still trading at a pitiful 52 cents, while USDT and USDC are both coming in at 99 cents. The overall market capitalization of cryptocurrencies is $2,321 billion. Since this will lead into the remainder of the video, we'll quickly review everything we discussed. Just in Ripple, it says, on Bloomberg, CEO Brad Garlinghouse is questioned about his invertible XRP ETF. He breaks it down and explains why he believes the ETF is coming. I covered you in roughly 3 minutes, and it's really evident. Michael, my man, released this. My friend, Hope, the depository trust, and the clearing were all doing well. To combat fragmentation and promote tokenization in the capital market sector, the DTCC, the biggest provider of financial market infrastructure globally, has established a digital asset sandbox. Why is that so large? Let's go back to February, a little earlier this year, when this guy declared that XRP would be my only focus. On the XRP ledger, we're talking about 30 to 50 trillion. We are discussing the size of the real-world market. Take a listen to this video. Indeed, I've been a little more optimistic for the past 6 years, but I'm still a little behind my first forecasts. However, that is the entire market, 1.4 quadrillion, and if you start examining any of those asset classes, you'll see that they're all already beginning to move on the chain. Additionally, the ease with which individuals have expressed interest in tokenized treasuries, money market funds, and other instruments that support stable currency when you mention replacing cash. I noticed DTCC. Clearstream, you are aware that it just takes one of them to go digital natively, which means that trillions of assets are moved. Tens of trillions, you know. We may view and keep in mind, I believe. The number is 1.4 quadrillion. With $30 to $50 trillion all on XRP or trading on our SEX, this is still a very small portion of a very large market. Let's get started. $50 trillion in 2 years. Ripple Twitter. If this doesn't thrill you, the session will be replayed. The fact that we are in the middle of a bull run and that institutional money and an XRP ETF will be coming over the fact that the US election is done makes me unsure of what will happen, people. We're going to get right into Brad's clip now that we're discussing real-world assets. Next, we will discuss the biggest collaboration that I think has emerged this year, or even since I started working there in 2017. This is Erie's interview. Brad, what do you believe the upcoming discussion by Bloomberg regarding the ETF XRP will mean for the price of XRP? ETFs have gained popularity, in my opinion. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission was forced to approve the Bitcoin ETF in January. I believe that approximately $17 billion have been poured into that exchange-traded fund. It's the fastest-growing ETF in history, in my opinion. It makes it quite evident that institutions have a need. Retailers are requesting access to this asset class. Interest in XRP has increased, as evidenced by the 2 or 3 ETF registrations that have occurred about it. It's simply unavoidable. You will witness more than simply Bitcoin and Ethereum. An XRP ETF will be displayed to you. As you can see, there isn't any filing around a basket ETF that has, I believe, 5 or 6 different cryptocurrencies. This, in my opinion, also makes a lot of sense, but it's also a part of the trend toward increasingly institutionalized involvement in the cryptocurrency sector. Therefore, I believe it will continue to occur, and I do believe that it puts upward pressure on the prices of XRP and many other cryptocurrencies that flow into the Bitcoin ETFs have been rather impressive. The flows into the ETH ETFs have not been particularly noteworthy. Brad, what proof do you have that there is a real market for an XRP ETF? Well, I wouldn't say that the ETH ETF doesn't exist. I believe it has performed remarkably well. It hasn't performed as well as Bitcoin, but if you compare the market domination of ETH and Bitcoin, the ratio of ETF participation is roughly equal. The ETH ETF is more recent. In my opinion, the ETH ETF has performed admirably. I believe that the XRP ETF will do well because there is a very active and interested community surrounding the XRP ecosystem, both in the US and abroad, and that community has increased. You know, I'd want to discuss another overhang as well. You're done there. He thinks you are aware. When comparing the Bitcoin ETF with the Ethereum ETF, he pulls down the data to show that the ratios are essentially the same. Since Bitcoin has a greater portion of the market and more cryptocurrency money is invested in it, it appears much better and has attracted more capital. However, as Brad mentioned, the ratios are very equal, and he discusses the demand. The XRP ETF is scheduled to launch in 2025. Put it in writing and annotate my remarks. I will obtain this. What if Brian was questioned about the possibility of buying out Ripple on the spot? For $1 billion, Stripe acquired a reliable coin company. This is intriguing. For a moment, I would like to change course. I would want to know what you think about the stunning agreement that we witnessed this week for our Stripe to purchase a solid coin platform, a deal worth over $1 billion in this sector. Do you respond okay when you see a deal like that? To grow in the stablecoin market, we might sell Ripple or at the very least collaborate with another sizable financial technology company. Look, I see that as a really good indication that this business is just becoming more and more integrated, mainstream, and subject to a variety of payment flows and demands. Therefore, I think it's great for the industry. As you are undoubtedly aware, Ripple is set to launch RLUSD, our stablecoin. I believe that the stablecoin markets will keep expanding, and Stripe is making it apparent that they share my opinion. Brad's well said, people. There's a reason why Ripples are entering the stablecoin coin game. They take note of the man for a purpose. Observe Stripe's actions. 2% of the XLM supply is owned by Stripe. For more than 1 billion Stripes, Stripe recently acquired a stablecoin company. To facilitate cross-border money transfers, Stripe will collaborate with MoneyGram. I think they're beginning in Mexico and Brazil. Thus, all of their dots are aligning, and Ripple is acting in the same manner. Just keep in mind that this is the same playbook. Michael takes a break. The big news is here. Your partners with Ripple and IBM for digital asset protection will recognize the Gervonta BBVA pricing. Remember the news story from 2017 about BBVA using Ripple DLT technology to accomplish its first real-time international money transfer between Europe and Mexico? Within seconds, they were sending money between Mexico and Spain. And as of right now, BBVA controls almost 80% of it. It's completely insane. I'll open that tweet now. I believed I had it figured out. I succeeded. We could go straight to the page with Ripples. It's been a while since I've seen a Ripple tweet about a new client notice like this. It claims that Gervonta BBVA is utilizing IBM's concept and Ripple custody to enhance the security and functionality of its expanding cryptocurrency trading platform. Yes, people, BBVA owns most of the guarantee BBVA, which is why the name appears in the title. The operation of the Ripple DLT digital ledger technology has already been tested. They are aware of the potential benefits to the financial system. They are aware of XRP's influence and how it helps release all of that money that has been sitting in reserve. What is the size of BBVA? Google claims to have over 89 million users, over 115,000 employees, and operations in nearly 25 countries. They are included in both the Dow Jones Eurostoxx 50 and the IBEX 35. With a market value of more than $65 billion, it is the biggest financial organization in Mexico and the second largest bank by assets. We are aware of the connection to Mexico. The first corridor to ever go online was that one. They have more than 775 billion euros in total assets and people, and they use XRP to bridge the gap between the US currency and the peso. This collaboration is enormous. We also discuss custody, and his influence on Mateo's acquisition is evident. Since these institutions will want to utilize the stablecoin and not Tethers, since let's face it, we don't sure who is behind it, we can observe what Ripple is doing with the stablecoin right now. We have no idea when it will be printed. It's possible that we don't know anything about Tether dollars. All of that is a huge falsehood. Ripple stablecoins, everything is visible. What is printed? Who is supporting it? And Ripple is a legitimate business with headquarters in the United States. The pieces are coming together in terms of regulatory clarity in the US and elsewhere. In 2025, just over 2 months from now, we will witness a magnificent conclusion. Be ready, be ready. It's going to stun you.